Hey guys, today we are diving into something that hides in plain sight on your salad plate: cucumbers. You pick them up at the market without a second thought. Slice them into neat little circles and toss them into a bowl. But what you don't realize is that this humble vegetable is carrying a reservoir of water, almost like nature's bottle, and it's pouring straight into your body the moment you crunch into it. And yes, before you ask, cucumbers do way more than just cool your tongue on a hot day. They're quietly reshaping the hydration story inside you. Funny thing, you probably wouldn't expect that cucumbers could be as good for your gut as eggs are for your brain, but here we are. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And hey, drop me a comment with where you're watching from and what time it is right now. It's always fun to imagine you listening in different corners of the world. Now, let's start looking for things you don't know. When you eat a cucumber, you don't just feel the crisp snap between your teeth, you're also sending over 90% water down into your stomach. That water isn't just filling up space. It's blending with electrolytes, with soluble fiber, and slipping into your bloodstream in a way that a glass of water sometimes doesn't. Sounds odd, right? But think of it this way. Sipping water is like pouring liquid into a funnel, while cucumber water is like delivering hydration wrapped in a package, cushioned with nutrients that let your cells hold on to it longer. That's why eating cucumbers can leave you feeling refreshed, not just quenched. Now, here's the part that your gut microbiome secretly loves. Hydration changes the neighborhood where your microbes live. If your intestines are a busy city, water is like the street cleaner, flushing waste, moving traffic smoothly, and making sure every alley is lit. Without enough hydration, your microbes get cranky, sluggish traffic, clogged streets, and the poor little residents don't get their supplies on time. You know that uncomfortable bloating or sluggish digestion? Yep. Often it's because your gut city is suffering a drought. Let's get playful. Imagine one of those tiny bacteria sitting in your colon, waving a little flag, saying, "Hey, we need water down here." Every time you bite into cucumber, that little microbe throws a dance party because conditions just got better. Don't laugh, but your microbiome might be happier with cucumbers than you are. It's like you're watering their garden. And hydration isn't just about fluid, it's about balance. Think about the time you felt dehydrated, maybe after too much coffee or a hot walk outside. Your mouth gets dry, your brain fogs, and suddenly even your mood sinks. Well, your microbes feel that too. When cucumbers slide in with their high water content, potassium and magnesium, they're not only refreshing you, they're stabilizing the electrolyte playground where bacteria thrive. And that matters, because the gut lining needs moisture to stay strong. A dry gut lining is like cracked soil. It leaks, it weakens, it lets the wrong things slip through. A hydrated gut lining, on the other hand, is flexible, selective, and protective. Now, here's something amusing. People chase hydration with expensive sports drinks, neon-colored bottles promising electrolyte balance, when a cucumber sitting quietly in the fridge is literally doing the same trick without the sugar crash. One slice of cucumber on your tongue, and you're actually smoothing the path for trillions of microbes that you didn't even know were depending on you. Isn't it funny how the cheapest snack sometimes beats the fanciest marketing? You might be wondering, does this really make a difference? Well, picture this. Your gut motility, the way food moves along, is like a conveyor belt. If the belt dries out, everything slows, clogs, and sometimes even squeaks. Hydration from cucumbers oils that belt. It keeps the food gliding, the nutrients absorbed, the microbes fed on time. Without enough hydration, your gut bacteria are like guests waiting at a restaurant with no food service. They get restless, and they start munching on the lining itself. Yes, that's right. Microbes can snack on you if they don't get what they need. Funny, but a little terrifying, right? But with cucumbers, the game shifts. Water keeps the mucus layer intact, the protective coating between microbes and your gut wall. It's like the glass shield at a museum display. You can see the art, but you can't touch it. Hydration maintains that shield, ensuring microbes don't cross boundaries. And since cucumbers are delivering that hydration slowly, wrapped in fiber, it's like having a gentle misting system instead of dumping buckets all at once. Your microbes prefer mist, trust me. And let's not forget taste, because your brain likes to be tricked too. Cucumbers taste refreshing, almost like eating air with a hint of sweetness. That sensation tells your nervous system, hydration incoming, before the water even hits your bloodstream. In a way, your senses are part of the hydration story, priming your body to absorb better. Ever notice how a cucumber slice feels more satisfying than gulping plain water? That's no coincidence. Here's a small joke. If cucumbers had a marketing department, they'd probably run a slogan like, "Better than your water bottle," and crunchier too. And honestly, they wouldn't be wrong. So next time you crunch into cucumber slices, think of it as more than a snack. It's a hydration strategy, a microbiome mood booster, and a subtle protector for your gut lining. You're not just chewing, you're irrigating the very soil where your microbes grow. And trust me, when they're happy, your entire body feels the difference. When you picture a cucumber, the first thing you think of is water, fresh, juicy, dripping down your fingers if you hold a slice too long. But the real treasure hidden beneath that green skin isn't just hydration, it's the fiber that rides along with it. Fiber is the unsung hero. The part of your food that you don't technically digest, yet it's the very thing your gut depends on to stay alive. When you eat cucumbers, you're not feeding yourself alone, you're feeding the billions of microscopic tenants living inside you. And let's be honest, some days they seem like they're hungrier than you are. Fiber in cucumbers comes in two main styles, soluble and insoluble. Soluble fiber is like a sponge. It absorbs water, forming a gel-like texture inside your intestines. That gel slows things down, allowing nutrients to soak in more efficiently and keeping your blood sugar from spiking like a roller coaster. Insoluble fiber, on the other hand, is more like the broom in your kitchen. It sweeps through your digestive tract, moving everything along, making sure nothing overstays its welcome. Funny enough, your gut microbiome treats both fibers like VIP guests at a banquet. They're the raw ingredients that get fermented into fuel. Imagine this. You bite into a cucumber, chew, swallow, and by the time that crunch reaches your intestines, it is transformed into a gentle fiber stream. Your microbes grab it eagerly, like kids rushing to catch candy at a parade. They break down the soluble parts, creating short-chain fatty acids, tiny molecules with giant influence. These molecules are what keep your gut lining healthy, reduce inflammation, and even signal to your brain that all is well. Yes, cucumbers can whisper to your mood without you even noticing. Isn't it wild that your lunch salad might be negotiating peace treaties inside your body? Now, let's zoom in. Fiber acts like real estate in your gut. When microbes have enough of it, they thrive, multiply, and push out harmful bacteria that are lurking around. But when fiber is scarce, those good bacteria shrink back, leaving empty lots for troublemakers to build on. And what's worse, when your gut microbes get desperate, they start snacking on the mucus barrier that protects your intestines. It's like if guests at a dinner party started gnawing on the table instead of waiting for dessert. That doesn't end well. Cucumbers, though, arrive like a reliable caterer, bringing steady snacks to keep everyone calm and happy. There's also the texture story. Cucumbers carry a crunch that's not just satisfying to chew but also meaningful for digestion. Chewing longer releases enzymes in your saliva, breaking fiber into manageable chunks so your microbes can handle it better. In other words, every crunch is a handshake with your gut bacteria. They're practically applauding from the inside when you take your time with each bite. Maybe that's why cucumber sandwiches feel so proper at tea parties. The bacteria approve of your manners. Now, if you've ever struggled with sluggish digestion, fiber is the gentle nudge your intestines need. The insoluble kind in cucumbers bulks things up, keeps everything moving, and prevents that heavy, stuck feeling. It's like having an efficient traffic officer in your colon, directing flow, preventing gridlock. Without fiber, your digestive street turns into a long traffic jam, and no one wants to sit in that car. Well, except the bacteria, they might honk a little, but mostly, they just sulk. Here's a funny twist. We humans can't digest fiber, yet it might be one of the most important nutrients in our diet. Why? Because our microbes can. Think about that. You're hosting a party, but you can't eat the main dish you're serving it to your invisible guests, and in return, they reward you with better health. That's one of the strangest but most beautiful symbiotic deals in biology. Cucumbers make that deal easy by offering both kinds of fiber, wrapped in a refreshing, low-calorie package. No drama, no extra prep, just slice, chew, swallow, and let the magic unfold. Of course, fiber isn't always glamorous. Too little, and your gut rebels. Too much, too fast, and well, let's just say your belly might sing songs you didn't request. But cucumbers strike a balance. Their fiber is gentle, soothing, like a yoga class for your intestines rather than a boot camp drill. You won't feel overwhelmed, you'll just feel steady, comfortable, and maybe even lighter. If your belly could smile, this would be the moment. And don't forget, fiber holds onto water. Remember that gel-like sponge? It keeps hydration hanging around in your intestines longer, giving microbes time to sip and savor. That means cucumbers aren't just delivering fiber and water separately, they're blending the two into a package deal. It's like buying a phone that comes with the charger included. Your microbes don't just cheer, they throw confetti. So every time you snack on cucumbers, you're sending caravans of fiber down pathways that nourish, clean, and protect. And what's truly fascinating is that the effect isn't just in your gut. Those short-chain fatty acids your microbes create travel through your blood, reaching organs far beyond your belly. They calm inflammation in your joints, fine-tune your immune system, and even send signals up the vagus nerve to soothe your brain. Suddenly, fiber doesn't sound boring anymore, does it? Here's a light joke. Cucumbers might look like the most unassuming guest in the produce aisle, but inside you, they're basically running the logistics department for your entire body. Quiet, reliable, and always on time. Without them, the whole system gets cranky. So the next time you crunch into cucumber sticks, don't just think of it as a snack. Think of it as sending care packages to your microbes, nutritious, hydrating, and morale-boosting. Fiber isn't background noise. It's the rhythm that keeps the dance of your gut going strong. And with cucumbers, that rhythm never skips a beat. If fiber is the fuel, then what happens next is the performance. Your gut microbiome takes the stage, and every bite of cucumber you eat is like throwing music into the room. Suddenly, there's rhythm, there's energy, and the bacteria begin their dance. This isn't just a metaphor, it's the real-time choreography between what you put in your mouth and how trillions of microscopic residents react. And let me tell you, they're not just wiggling randomly. They're running a coordinated show that shapes your mood, immunity, and even the way you wake up in the morning. Picture this. You toss cucumber slices into your salad, chew, swallow, and send them down the digestive tunnel. By the time they reach your colon, microbes are waiting like an eager audience at a concert. The soluble fiber ferments into short-chain fatty acids, which are basically like musical notes for your microbiome. Some notes calm inflammation, others boost protective cells, and a few even send signals up the vagus nerve, your gut's direct phone line to your brain. Imagine your bacteria playing a saxophone solo that makes your neurons tap along. Suddenly, your mood shifts, your anxiety eases, and you wonder why lunch left you feeling so unexpectedly cheerful. Spoiler, it was the cucumbers conducting the orchestra. Now, humor me for a second. If microbes had a Spotify playlist, cucumbers would be at the top. It's hydrating, it's crunchy, and it gives them the right balance of fiber and minerals. If they could leave a review, it'd probably read something like, 5 stars, would ferment again. And yes, your microbes are picky food critics. Give them too much greasy junk, and they'll riot. But offer cucumbers, and suddenly everyone's in harmony. The most fascinating part is how this microbial dance influences things you don't directly connect to food. Your immune system, for example, is constantly watching the performance. When microbes ferment cucumber fiber, they produce butyrate, a short-chain fatty acid with superhero vibes. Butyrate strengthens your gut lining, reduces unnecessary immune flare-ups, and essentially tells your immune soldiers, relax, everything's under control. Without it, your immune system is like an overzealous guard dog, barking at every passing shadow. With it, the dog curls up on the rug and takes a nap. You feel calmer, healthier, and less like your body is constantly fighting invisible battles. And then there's serotonin, the mood chemical most people associate with happiness. Believe it or not, most of your serotonin isn't in your brain, it's in your gut. When your microbes are happy, they signal for more serotonin production. So yes, cucumbers, through fiber fermentation, can literally help fine-tune your mood. Isn't it strange that a vegetable you barely notice on a sandwich could be nudging your happiness meter? It almost feels like cucumbers are undercover therapists, charging $0 an hour. Let's not forget energy. Ever notice how some days you eat and feel sluggish, while other days you feel light and energetic? The microbial dance is a big reason. When cucumbers provide hydration and fiber, microbes process it into clean-burning energy molecules. Your mitochondria, those tiny power plants inside your cells, love this steady fuel. It's the difference between running your car on high-octane fuel versus sticky, low-grade stuff. Cucumbers may look small, but they're part of a metabolic relay race that keeps your energy steady without the crash. Here's a quick joke. If your microbes had a nightclub, cucumbers would be the DJ, quiet, unassuming, but absolutely running the floor. And just like any good DJ, they know how to keep the crowd happy without burning anyone out. Another fascinating detail: cucumbers help balance gut bacteria populations. Not all microbes are saints. Some can cause trouble when given too much space. But when cucumbers arrive with their fiber, they favor the growth of good guys like bifidobacteria and lactobacillus. These species crowd out the troublemakers, keeping the microbial dance floor orderly. Without cucumbers and other fibrous foods, it's like leaving the door open for rowdy guests. Before long, the party turns chaotic, and you feel it as bloating, discomfort, or even mood swings. With cucumbers, the vibe stays upbeat. And yes, the microbiome dance extends to sleep too. Those same signals traveling from your gut influence your circadian rhythm. A well-fed microbiome nudges your body to rest better, wake up more refreshed, and avoid that groggy, half-awake feeling. Think about it. Who knew cucumbers on your dinner plate might be setting you up for better dreams? Next time someone asks your secret for a good night's sleep, you can joke, "Oh, just cucumbers. My personal sleep DJ." Let's add one more twist. Your gut-brain axis isn't a one-way street. When you're stressed, anxious, or rushing through life, your gut feels it. The microbial dance gets disrupted, like a DJ being shoved off the stage. Eating cucumbers at those moments is like sending in a calming backup track, steadying the rhythm, helping your microbes reset. You chew, crunch, swallow, and in less than an hour, the dance resumes. Smoother, calmer, more balanced. So, every time you eat cucumbers, you're not just filling your stomach. You're conducting a symphony where microbes play, your immune system listens, your brain hums along, and your body moves with more grace. The dance is invisible, but its effects ripple through every part of you. Mood, energy, sleep, and resilience. And isn't it comforting to know that something as humble as cucumber can lead the orchestra so effortlessly? When you think about your gut, you probably imagine digestion, breaking down food, absorbing nutrients, moving things along. But what if I told you that your gut and your heart are constantly whispering to each other, like two old friends sharing secrets across the body? Cucumbers, with their unique mix of hydration, fiber, and minerals, play a quiet role in keeping that conversation smooth and supportive. And while it might sound dramatic, your gut health and your heart health are deeply connected, often more than you realize. It starts with blood pressure. Cucumbers bring potassium to the table, a mineral that helps balance sodium levels in your body. Too much sodium, and your blood vessels stiffen, your pressure rises, and your heart works overtime. But potassium is like a gentle hand on the shoulder, telling your blood vessels to relax. And here's where your gut gets involved. When microbes ferment cucumber fiber into short-chain fatty acids, they also contribute to regulating blood vessel function. It's a double-act minerals from the cucumber on one side, microbial metabolites on the other, both nudging your circulatory system toward balance. Now picture your gut lining again, that delicate barrier keeping the good stuff in and the bad stuff out. When it's healthy, thanks to hydration and fiber from cucumbers, fewer inflammatory molecules slip into your bloodstream. Less inflammation means your arteries stay clearer, your heart beats with less resistance, and your whole body feels lighter. On the flip side, when your gut barrier weakens, inflammation rises like smoke filling a room, clouding your arteries and stressing your heart. Cucumbers, quietly and consistently, help keep that smoke at bay. Here's a playful thought. If your gut and heart had a text thread, cucumbers would be the emoji they keep sending back and forth, a little green reminder that everything's okay. And we can't ignore cholesterol. Some of the fibers in cucumbers bind to cholesterol particles in your digestive tract, carrying them out before they sneak into your bloodstream. At the same time, those short-chain fatty acids made by your microbes tell your liver to chill on producing extra cholesterol. It's like cucumbers are pulling double duty, cleaning up leftovers in your gut while also telling your liver not to overstock the shelves. That means your heart has less to worry about, and your arteries stay more flexible. But the real magic is the sense of calm cucumbers bring not just physically, but emotionally. Think about the last time you felt your heart racing from stress. That knot in your stomach, that churn. The gut-heart axis works both ways. Stress in the brain triggers the gut, and gut discomfort reflects back to the heart. Cucumbers slide into that cycle like a cooling breeze. They hydrate, soothe, and feed your microbes, which in turn send calming signals back up. Your heart feels the shift, beats a little steadier, and suddenly the storm inside quiets. Here's a gentle joke. Cucumbers are basically the therapists of the produce aisle, listening quietly, calming you down, never charging for an appointment. As you lean into this connection, you realize something. Taking care of your gut with something as simple as cucumbers isn't just about avoiding bloating or aiding digestion. It's about tuning your entire system into harmony. Your microbes dance, your vessels relax, your heart hums along, and you feel whole. And now, let's slow the pace, soften the edges, and let the story wind down. Imagine a late summer evening. You're sitting outside, maybe on a balcony or in a quiet garden. The air is warm, but the light is fading into a soft gold. You take a slice of cucumber, fresh and cool, and let it rest on your tongue before you chew. The crunch is delicate, refreshing, like a tiny ripple in a calm pond. Inside you, trillions of microbes welcome that bite, weaving it into the fabric of your well-being. Your gut hums in rhythm, your heart beats a steady drum, and for a moment, everything feels balanced. The world slows. Your body thanks you, quietly, invisibly. There's no fireworks, no dramatic transformation, just the gentle reassurance that you are cared for from the inside out. Cucumbers aren't flashy. They don't shout their benefits. They whisper. They soothe. They keep the dialogue between gut and heart flowing, a melody of water, fiber, and life. And as you sit there, breathing easily, you realize that health isn't always about big gestures. Sometimes, it's about the smallest crunch, the simplest choice, the most ordinary vegetable doing extraordinary work. That's the quiet gift of cucumbers, connecting your inner worlds in ways you don't even have to think about. You simply eat, enjoy, and let the harmony unfold. Goodbye. See you in the next video.